name is Sydney. I'm a senior physics major, and I should be graduating spring 16. Physics, I guess, least word simply, maybe not so simply, it's how energy and matter interact and go about doing things it does, and that is everything. We're all matter, it's all matter and energy, so it's everything. It's from as big as, black holes, it's as small as the atoms and subatomic particles, and, light, sound, music, it all encompasses physics. Physics is just the most basic stepping ground of the sciences. You can do a lot of things with physics. I mean, a lot of people just think of the teaching or the really ridiculous stuff like CERN and particle accelerators, but physicists are everywhere and they're all in between those things. A lot of physicists do jobs that go into engineering, and they have job titles of engineering because physicists get basically the same background information. They go a little bit more in depth than like the basic things that engineers will, and the engineers get a lot of application, which the physicists will usually say like learn on the job, because a lot of application things are learned on the job. But besides that, besides the stuff that sounds intimidating, I mean, there's physicists that go into finance, and because of the strong mathematics background that we have and get, they do like stock market things, or just, I mean, anything in between. They do entrepreneur stuff and make their own businesses. I mean, it's just a basic stepping ground to get your foot in and get the basic knowledge that you might need. It was a longer process. I went to St. Francis before this, and I was studying environmental science, and I started getting more into the biology things and realized that wasn't particularly something I was too terribly interested in when it comes to, the cells and things like that. But chemistry, I realized, I was getting really excited for physical chemistry, which is kind of more like the atomic structure and that stuff. And I realized, that's physics, that's more just physics, it's the underlying part of, chemistry. And then I talked with like the physics professor there, and he was related to here somehow. And also I discovered the planetarium there, and so there was an element of the whole astronomy thing, and I was like, well, maybe this is more like my fit. So getting more of the basic underlying theory of things rather than the in-depth applications. When I kind of first started here, I got involved with the astronomy research for physics, dealing with a globular cluster, which is an old collection of stars. And that was really exciting. I got to go to Kitt Peak National Observatory in Arizona and deal with like the big telescopes and all of that stuff, and that was just amazing to see and get to be a part of. And then there's physics clubs here. We have meetings where people come in, talk about what you can do with physics, for the other people that still have absolutely no idea. And we also do like demonstrations for high schools and even just around on campus, and so it's really cool having people come up and ask you questions like, hey, what's this? And you can explain it and go into the detail of it. Try and learn to love math. It comes up everywhere. You're not going to get rid of it, and if you can find the right stuff to make it fun, it's always the most helpful. Like, I've used the kinematic equations that we get in our introductory physics class to deal with juggling, because I like to juggle in my free time. So one of the things I did would say, oh, how high do I have to throw the ball in order to get this many seconds of reaction time, type of a thing. You can just do random fun things. I mean, out on the ice, think about friction, how far you're going to slide. Things like that. I mean, just have fun with it. Other advice I would have would be build, small projects maybe that can demonstrate a physical principle. So like, I've made Cartesian divers. It's just, an eyedropper with a bottle full of water, and you can use that to demonstrate buoyancy. Or, the Van de Graaff generators that make the static electricity, which is a bit more fun, but a bit more difficult at the same time. But those are just some things that you can do. There's simple demonstrations that you can learn the background, physics behind them, to demonstrate them to other people maybe.